Good evening from Sydney. More protein without exercise. A hidden risk in 2026. In recent years, many people have been encouraged to increase their protein intake for better health, weight loss, and muscle strength. This advice is broadly correct, but it becomes with an important condition that is often missed. Protein is not a magic nutrient that automatically turns into muscle. Muscle only grows and becomes stronger when it is regularly challenged through resistance or strength-based activity. If protein intake increases without corresponding muscle use, the body does not convert the extra protein into useful muscle tissue. Instead, it may be used as energy, converted to glucose, or stored, and the expected metabolic benefits do not fully appear. This talk was compiled by Dr. Siva Navaratnam and ChatGPT, my educational partner. It is based on the new dietary guidelines 2025 to 2026. What JAMA is warning. This slide summarizes an important message from the recent JAMA discussion linked to 2025-2030 dietary guidelines. First, the new recommended protein targets for older adults and for optimal health represent a large increase, around 50 to 100% more than the old minimal requirement. Second, most adults in developed countries already meet their basic physiological protein needs. In other words, frank protein deficiency is uncommon. Third, and this is the key concern, most adults do not regularly perform muscle strengthening exercise. Resistance training 2 to 3 times per week is still the exception, not the rule. So when higher protein targets are promoted without equal emphasis on strength training, a mismatch is created. Therefore, extra proteins on its own may not be used to build muscle. Without mechanical loading of muscle fibers, the stimulus for growth is missing. Indeed, some of the excess amino acid energy can be converted in the liver into glucose and fat, a process known as de novo lipogenesis. This may contribute to fat accumulation and metabolic stress rather than the intended benefits. So the warning is not that protein is dangerous. The warning is that protein without muscle use may not deliver the expected health benefits. The solution is not less protein. The solution is pairing protein with resistance training so the body knows where to send it. What happens without muscle use? This slide explains the biological logic behind the warning. Proteins can only be built into muscle when the muscle is being mechanically loaded. This means resistance or strength training. Without that signal, the body has no reason to store incoming amino acids as new muscle tissue. If a person increases protein intake but does not perform regular muscle strengthening exercise, the surplus amino acids are not parked in muscle. The body first uses what it needs for basic repair and turnover. The excess is then processed by the liver. In the liver, amino acids can be converted into glucose, and if energy supply exceeds demand, further converted into fat. This fat production from non-fat source is called de novo lipogenesis. Over time, this can contribute to increased visceral or belly fat accumulation in the liver, and worsening insulin resistance. So again, The issue is not that protein is harmful. The issue is that protein without muscle use loses its protective metabolic role. The same protein, when paired with resistance training, is directed into muscle where it improves glucose disposal, insulin sensitivity, metabolic stability, and long-term independence. Simple take-home message. This is the key message we want everyone to remember. Protein by itself does not automatically build muscle. Muscle only grows and becomes stronger when it is used and challenged through resistance or strength-based activity. When protein intake is combined with regular muscle use, it becomes one of the most powerful tools for health. It supports glucose control, improves insulin sensitivity, stabilizes metabolism, preserves strength, and helps maintain independence with aging. However, increasing protein without using the muscles may give these benefits. In some people, excess protein energy may instead be converted into fat and contribute to metabolic disease rather than protect against it. So the practical advice is very simple. If you're increasing your protein intake, also include muscle strengthening exercise. Aim for resistance or strength training at least 2 to 3 times per week, adjusted to your age, fitness, and medical condition. The message is not fear protein. The message is pair protein with muscle use and it becomes medicine. Bigger, stronger muscles is equal to better health. This slide explains why the muscle is not just about appearance or strength. It is a major metabolic organ. First, muscle acts as a powerful glucose sink. After a meal, active muscle pulls glucose out of the bloodstream and stores or burns it, reducing blood sugar spikes. Second, more and healthier muscle improves insulin sensitivity. This means the same amount of insulin works more effectively, lowering the risk of insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. Third, muscle increases overall metabolic stability. It helps regulate energy use, reduces harmful fat accumulation, and supports healthier hormone signaling. Finally, strong muscles support longevity and physical independence. They reduce the risk of falls, frailty, disability, and loss of function with aging. So muscle is not only about movement. It is central to blood sugar control, metabolic health, and healthy aging. This is why combined adequate protein with regular resistance training is one of the most powerful lifestyle strategies for long-term health. Thank you for watching.